Everybody, it's Felisa, and I wanted to do this vlog, or I have wanted to do this vlog for a while now, but I haven't been able to compose myself emotionally well enough to be able to deliver it the way that I would want. I wanted to share this case and use my platform, even though my subscribership is very small. I felt that if I could get this content out, that it would make and create more awareness around this particular case, and we could push for the investigation that is so necessary and needed for Elijah and his family. So if you're not familiar, the case is of Elijah McClain. I'm taking the information from thecut.com. This is one of the most recent updates that I've seen regarding this case and the material facts of it. So I'll leave that link for you below. But this is what we know so far. It was about 10:30 p.m. on August 24th, 2019, that the Aurora Police Department received a call about a suspicious person, quote unquote, wearing a mask and waving his hands. They sent three officers, Nathan Woodyard, Jason Rosenblatt, and Randy Rodema, who subsequently said that Elijah resisted contact, quote unquote, and continued down the street. According to Elijah's family, the 23-year-old had made a quick trip to the convenience store to pick up an iced tea for his brother. His sister later told a local ABC affiliate, Denver 7, that Elijah was wearing an open-face ski mask because he had anemia and would sometimes get cold. And although he was unarmed, simply walking home, and his sister said listening to music, police say a struggle ensued. One officer accused Elijah of reaching for his gun, and another one put him in a carotid hold, which involves an officer applying pressure to the side of a person's neck in order to temporarily cut off blood flow to the brain. Due to the level of physical force applied while restraining Elijah and his agitated mental state, officers then called Aurora first responders, who administered life-saving measures, quote unquote, according to a local NBC affiliate. Paramedics injected Elijah with what they said was a therapeutic amount of ketamine to sedate him while officers held him down. Elijah went into cardiac arrest on the way to the hospital and was taken off life support on August 30th. His family said at the time that he was brain dead and covered in bruises. So I want to just recap that just really briefly. He was 23. He went to the store to pick up an iced tea. He was listening to music on his way back home, probably a trip that took him all of 15 minutes, and he'd probably done it before. He died on August 30th after sustaining a cardiac arrest and a dose of ketamine, and he was covered in bruises. Body cam footage of the arrest does exist, although the ADP did not release it to the public until late November, months after his death. In this footage, an officer can be heard admitting that Elijah had done nothing illegal prior to his arrest. Another accuses him of reaching for one of their guns. Elijah, meanwhile, can be heard asking the officers to stop, explaining that they started to arrest him as he was stopping his music to listen. He gasps that he cannot breathe. He tells them his name, says he has no ID. He has an ID, but no gun. He pleads that his house is right there. He cries, he vomits, and he apologizes. I wasn't trying to do that, he says. I just can't breathe correctly. One of the officers can also be heard threatening to set his dog on Elijah if he, quote, keeps messing around, end quote, and claiming that he exhibited an extreme show of strength when officers tried to pin back his arms. Very little of the officers' protocol can be seen, however, because all of their body cams allegedly fell off during the arrest. But if you watch the video from about the 15-minute mark, warning, the footage contains violent and upsetting content, and I'm telling you guys, I refuse to watch this video. I just cannot. I would not be able to sit and watch that. I will link the article below. The video is embedded in the article, and I'll also see if I can at least try and create a separate link so that you can view that yourself if you feel so inclined to do so. At any rate, if you watch from about the 15-minute mark, you'll see someone pick up the body camera and point it towards Elijah and one of the officers before dropping it back on the grass. Around the 15:34 mark, one of the officers seems to say, "Leave your camera there." Elijah's autopsy also raised questions. The Adams County coroner announced in early November that it wasn't clear whether his death had been an accident or a carotid related homicide or the result of natural causes. Now, let me back up. They couldn't tell if it was a result of natural causes. Elijah had a full cardiac arrest on the way to the hospital after he was administered ketamine. He was on life support for a few days before he even died. He was declared brain dead. His family said that he was covered in bruises, yet this coroner said that it could not determine whether his death had been the result of natural causes. The coroner listed his death as undetermined, or his cause of death as undetermined, but points to hemorrhaging in his neck and abrasions on different parts of his body, noting that an idiosyncratic drug reaction, an unexpected reaction to a drug, even at a therapeutic level, cannot be ruled out. In reference to the ketamine dosage, the report's wording seems to pin responsibility on Elijah himself. It says, quote, "The decedent was violently struggling with officers who were attempting to restrain him," it said, end quote. According to Denver 7 ABC, quote, "Most likely the decedent's physical exertion contributed to death. It is unclear if the officer's actions contributed as well," end quote. As Mary Newman, an attorney for McClain's family, said at the time, though, whatever the report says, it's clear that if the police had not attacked Elijah McClain, he would be alive today. I'm not going to read the remainder of the story. I really want you guys to be able to read it for yourselves without, my own bias and emotionalism, because this does make me very, very emotional when I read about it. And I hope that you will be affected in the same way. And if so, you will think about signing the change.org petition that I will also leave in the comments. I do want to say that for all accounts, all reports of Elijah were glowing ones, positive ones, ones filled of love and appreciation. Elijah was reportedly someone who would go to the local shelters and play his violin for the kittens so that they wouldn't be afraid or wouldn't be lonely. And these are reported to be his last words. I'm warning y'all, I'm going to try and get through them, but I want you to close your eyes and listen to this. "I can't breathe. I have my ID right here. My name is Elijah McClain. That's my house. I was just going home. I'm an introvert. I'm just different. That's all. I'm so sorry. I have no gun. I don't do that stuff. I don't do any fighting. Why are you attacking me? I don't even kill flies. I don't eat meat, but I don't judge people. I don't judge people who eat meat. Forgive me. All I was trying to do was become better. I will do it. I will do anything. Sacrifice my identity. I'll do it. You all are phenomenal. You all are beautiful and I love you. Try to forgive me. I'm a mood Gemini. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Ow, that really hurt. You all are very strong. Teamwork makes the dream work." Crying. "Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to do that. I just can't breathe correctly." Those are reportedly Elijah's last words as he was being pinned down by the Aurora Police Department, or police officers, before he was injected with ketamine. Elijah was also reportedly autistic, or at least on the spectrum. So he knew that he was different, and that's the way that he termed it for himself. And he more than likely could not understand exactly why he was being targeted or questioned or even detained or arrested. He couldn't follow that. And so it resulted in this tragic outcome. And this is not a call for backlash against all police officers. It's really not. But I think that as a nation, we need to start to look at how we interact. And I'm not a Leo. I'm not. When I was dating a Leo, my first thought was, I need for you to come home. But I also am a mother, and I also worry about my children crossing paths with those who are rogue and undisciplined and untrained and who don't value nor look at life the same way that I do. And so, I'm able to see both sides. I really am. But in this case, there is not a both sides. Elijah's family deserves justice. Elijah deserves justice. And they have got to investigate this case and give them the justice that they deserve and the justice that is way overdue. Elijah should still be here. His brother should have gotten his iced tea. Elijah should still be here to play his violin for the kittens. And it just be different because that's who he was created to be. So I really ask that you research this case, sign the petitions, ask the Aurora Police Department to do the right thing, bring these officers to the forefront and allow them to be not just investigated, but arrested and tried in the killing of Elijah McClain.